Good morning. It's all the small things. We're just trying to take care of little problems and get ready to drive some more. So it's been winter time, so it's been really cold lately and wet, and now it's muddy and a little less muddy. So we're going to get back to working on some stuff. Today we need to address the exhaust leak, and we need to check our timing and make sure our carburetor is adjusted since we're at a new elevation. Flying dog. So yeah, we're going to do start with those and see where we get from there. Okay, so I'm going to crawl under here, take care of the exhaust first. I'm going to do that first because it needs to run to check timing, carburetor adjustments and such. And so let's make it less noisy. Oh, it's wet down here. Would you like to come see what I'm doing? Alright. So right here, I believe, is where our exhaust leak is. It's the ball flange that is on the collector to the header. And the other thing we got to do, you know what, we're going to take that out because I got to adjust the shifter linkage, and it'd be a whole lot easier if this muffler wasn't right directly in the way. So we're going to do that. Are you having fun?
Almost taking care of some cabin fever.
Yes. Dog has a little cabin fever, and she's going to run it out. Good for her. Huh. Alright. Just to be on the safe side. Rock chalk. If you know, you know. That's good. Alright. So, exhaust is out of the way. It's still wet down here. Oh, it's wet. So what we got going on here is got our shifter linkage. There's 3 holes on this linkage, and I just threw it back up on there without even double checking it. And this right here is in the wrong hole. In fact, this piece may be flipped backwards. I'm going to refer to the instructions. We're going to adjust that, make sure that we've got, you know, all the way forward is park and all the way rearward on this transmission is third gear, which in a normal would be first gear, but we're going to make sure that our linkage is working properly. So I'm going to hand you back off and go get the instructions.
Ned, read those instructions again.
So it was hooked up, right?
No,
Oh.
It isn't. I'm just seeing if that'll tighten up. So that should be drive to low. All right. Got that in position where I need it. So I'm going to crawl back under and adjust everything. I need my wife's help. I can't be in two places at once and I don't want to go back and forth. To open the driver's door. And then on the shifter, would you, right now it's in all the way back, which would be 1 on the indicator. Ratchet it forward twice, will be dry, pick up the T-handle and put it all the way into park.
I don't know if I can reach. I can't reach.
Ratchet it forward once. Twice. Now take the T-handle, pick it up, and go all the way to park. Okay? We're going to do this multiple times. Go ahead and pick the T-handle up, drop it down into what is drive on that shifter, and then ratchet it backwards 2 clicks. Where are we at? We're in park.
Park.
Okay, so pick up the T-handle, shift it back to what would be drive, so reverse neutral drive. Now ratchet backwards, 1, 2, and give it another pull just to make sure. All right.
Boring.
Put it in park. All right. One thing done. As leaky as the 3-bolt flange collectors were, they weren't near as much of a pain as these ball and socket ones. That'll get changed at some point, guaranteed. We'll be cutting those off and put some sort of, probably a turbo flange type one. Time to find out, excuse me, cracked voice, if we got that exhaust tightened up. Well, that's odd. Indeed. There we go. Now we picked up fuel. Well, part of our problem is the way they installed the muffler. It's backwards and upside down. So the little weep hole, water gets in it, is blowing out exhaust. So that's great. So now, let's see if we can tighten up these header bolts. I think we have a burnt header gasket. I don't think it's going to go away if I tighten it up. Probably going to have to replace that. If you look right there, you'll see a spot where the gasket's cooked. So we'll try and snug it up, see if we can get it by for now, but we're going to put header gaskets in it. Not a huge deal. Well, I say that, but headers are kind of difficult to put header gaskets on at times. So before I try that, I think I'm going to get this out of the way. We're not going to be able to reuse that cooler. So I think what I'm going to do is, this isn't hydraulic line. This is obviously clampable line because I've got a hose clamp on the back of the pump and holding the clamps to the filter. So I think what we'll do is we'll just cut our return line so that we can get that out of the way, and we'll see how much fluid we lose. Now, hopefully not too much. We'll do that, tighten that clamp, and then we'll go on to timing and carb adjustments. Alright, since we're going to remove this for now, we will end up putting some kind of power steering cooler back on. While I'm in here, may as well sensuous in here, replace this power steering filter. So let's see here. If I were to cut you about there, see how much fluid we can dump out of this thing. Hopefully not much.
Can you see Clover?
I cannot. Tell her I'll find the dog.
Clover!
So far, a little mess. Tweezer flow. Tweezer flow. Alright. Now, can we get this one off without slinging it everywhere, making a giant mess? What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Well, ideas. Trying not to make a mess here. It's gonna make a little mess. Leave it alone, dog.
Leave it.
Not too awful bad. Now let's clamp these down. clamp these down. Come on, clamp. Don't die on me now. So, fair's in here. Just go ahead and tighten up this header just to see if anything would change. Probably won't change much, if any, because that one spot looks definitely burnt. But they are a little loose. The other side next. Probably gonna have to go do a whole nut and bolt session on the entire rig at some point before we go out and do anything serious with it. Side's not as loose. Still a little loose. That one looks crooked. So we're not going to touch that one any more than I just did. So that'll probably be a broken bolt.
Load up. You can do it. You can do it. Sort of. Good job. What do you think?
Yeah, headers are kind of hard to get to. Show you, especially on these AMC engines. Let's see if I can get you in there. Ooh, sorry about all that. Alright, see, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, how this is kind of squeezed in right here, and it's a little flatter on the other side. And there, it's kind of squeezed. So, AMC has what's called a dog leg exhaust port. It's the shape of the exhaust port. Instead of it being oval or square, it goes, and it's got a little kick out, a little kick up, and it looks like a giant fat L or a dog leg. So they did that for higher flow. There's some good articles online about the guy that designed them and what he went on to do, and they flow really good. Apparently they're supposed to flow better than a big block Chevy, but yeah, as far as the port design, a little less than desired. Alright, so we're going to hook up a vacuum gauge directly off the manifold vacuum, not off of a ported vacuum. And so we'll be able to read that gauge and then fine tune our carburetor a little bit. It's probably pretty close. Kind of done by ear. I'm going to tie those up or get rid of them or something before they end up in a fan. So, and then this one's our vacuum port for our vacuum advance on the distributor. We'll mess with that too when it's time to do the timing. So I think now I'll grab my carb adjustment tool and we'll fire it up, adjust. Alright, I'll remember this little fella. Little carb adjustment tool from our carburetor rebuild video. So we're going to get that set on one of them. Show you on this side real easy. So it'll go in right there. Now see why this flexible adjusting tool is handy, because now you can be up here out of the way of the distributor, and then the other side is tucked way underneath where it's even more difficult to get to. So I like to start with the driver's side because it's easier to get to more than anything. Alright, we got our vacuum gauge hooked up out of the way so it won't fall into the fan, hopefully. And now I've also went ahead and hooked up my brand new to me um, timing light. Woohoo!
Right there.
Right there. So it'll also do tachometer function, which is why I have it hooked up right now before we mess with timing. So I want to be able to see what our idle speed is. And typically you want to do this with everything warmed up to operating temperature. Just what I didn't want to happen. Vacuum gauge dropped right into the pan. Thought I had it in a safe spot. Apparently not.
Down there.
Yeah, the lens is down there. We'll see if we totaled it out.
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah. We'll see. There's the lens. Yeah. I'd say it's probably done.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens. Just trying to be careful. Yeah. Let's see if we can make it work or not. No. It's stripped out. Oh well, what do you do? Yeah, I've got more gauges. Well, that's a bummer. I hate it when that happens. So, we'll get a gauge off a different kit I got. Go from there. It's for synchronizing carburetors on multi-carb vehicles. It's great for motorcycles and boats and stuff like that that have multiple carburetors. So I don't know if we're going to be able to adjust that or not, because I think our exhaust leak is causing a problem. I'm going to set that off to get that in there. So the needle's bouncing, which is typical of a leak, exhaust leak. So, see if it goes away when we adjust this side. Might have to turn that idle up just a bit. All right, so we didn't get much done today. Found more stuff we gotta, of course, work on. I think that's going to be the name of the game on this project. Just want to say thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.